Hello, interested Lesher Middle School families. My name is Dr. Tom Dodd, and I'm the principal here at Lesher. And I'd like to welcome you and encourage you out there to anchor down here at Lesher. I've been fortunate to be the principal at Lesher for 16 years. This is a great middle school, and we love our kids and love our staff. And I'm going to start right now where we would normally start if this was our typical spring with open house curriculum fair. Normally what we would do here at our open house curriculum fair, if we were in person, is you all would be out here in our VPAC, our Viking Performing Arts Center, and I would be giving a presentation about Lesher on the stage. But because of our COVID regulations and restrictions, we're going to do a virtual pre-recorded message to you tonight. So in the next 20-30 minutes, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Lesher, and I'm going to show you some different spaces in our building. Since the majority of you, probably 98-99% of you, are current 5th graders in Poudre School District and 5th grade parents, I'm going to focus on 6th grade next year and what we typically do. So that will be the focus. If you are a 7th or 8th grader interested in Lesher, we would love to have you here and love to talk to you about Lesher. So give me a call or one of my assistant principals or counselors, and we'd be happy to set up a time to talk to you on the phone and talk to you more specifically, or set up a Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meets call and have some conversations more specifically about 7th and 8th grade. But for this purpose, I'm going to focus mainly on what 6th grade looks like at Lesher. So I'm going to show you 5 or 6 different spaces in our building, and I'm going to talk to you next a little bit about our counseling office. I'm going to talk to you about our 6th grade core, Math, Science, English, and Social Studies. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our Encore, art, music, physical education, computer science, pre-engineering, world languages. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our social piece here at Lesher and how we try to connect kids on a social level. I will talk to you a little bit about our athletics and activities offerings. We are very proud of what we do here at Lesher. We believe that all learning happens in the context of relationships. And so I want to thank our parents currently and future and our students for their resiliency, for their flexibility, and frankly for the grace we've given each other as we've tried to figure this out and offer the best experience to our kids. Our goal is always to improve learning experiences and outcomes for kids. Our goal is to be a great school academically, artistically, athletically, and socially. We want your child here and to be happy, to have great friend and peer relationships, to learn a lot, and get ready for 7th grade, then 8th grade, and our high schools, no matter what high school you may go to, and no matter what elementary school you came from. Lesher is one of the, if not the most diverse middle school in PSD. Typically, we have about 800 students. We also have about 60 staff members. We intentionally try to recruit a wide range of staff to meet the needs of our students, because we have neighborhood kids, we have IB kids, we have homeschooled kids, private school kids, charter school kids. We have been the most choice to neighborhood secondary school in PSD for many, many years. And we are proud of our diversity and the range of kids that we work with. We love them all. So I'm going to introduce real quick for you some key people on my team. So I'm going to first begin with our 6th grade assistant principal, Miss Janice Martinez, who is also our assessment coordinator. So she coordinates all of our state testing and is our 6th grade assistant principal. So she would be your first point of contact if you have any questions or concerns. When we go to counseling, I'll introduce you to our counseling team, because we also have a 6th grade counselor. We also have Miss Lisa Crossland. By the way, Miss Martinez and Miss Crossland were also longtime math and language arts teachers here at Lesher for many years before moving towards the administrative side. Miss Crossland is our 7th grade administrator. She's our Dean of Students and is also our MTSS coordinator, which is our multi-tiered system of supports. So Miss Crossland is your first point of contact if you have an administrative question for 7th grade. And last but certainly not least behind me, we have Mr. Warren Morrow. Mr. Morrow is also a former math teacher here at Lesher and a coach in football and basketball. He also serves as our athletic director. Now, 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade, and we have a 6th grade counselor who you'll meet shortly, Miss Ashley Broody, and an 8th grade counselor, Miss Wood, and I'm pointing this way because they're on the other side of that wall. And then they share 7th grade by alphabet. So Mr. Morrow, Miss Crossland, and Miss Martinez, 8th, 7th, and 6th grade, you can call me anytime. You can email me anytime. I want our parents to feel connected. I want us to be accessible. My direct office line is in the signature of every email for a reason. Just give us about 48 hours to get back to you, because sometimes we have some busy days. But our commitment to you is that we will try to get back to you via email or phone within 48 hours to any question you have. And while I can't always guarantee I can get you the answer you want, I will guarantee you that one of us will respond to you, will look into your concerns, you will be heard, and that as a parent, I'm a parent of 2 Poudre School District children myself, and I want you to know that you will be known here. We want to know who you are, and we want you to feel connected with our school. So, this is my administrative team. Here we are in the Viking Performing Arts Center, our VPAC, our auditorium. This is step 1 of our tour. Now we're going to move over to the counseling office, and I'll tell you more. And here we are in Lesher Middle School's Counseling Center. I'd like to introduce our key people here at the Counseling Center. First, I'd like to introduce Genevieve Stinsma. She is our Counseling Center Office Manager and our Registrar. Genevieve.
I look forward to welcoming you to Lesher, and I can help you with any enrollment, withdrawals, transfers, anything like that. Welcome.
Thanks, Genevieve. And as I mentioned in the VPAC in our opening introductions, we have our administrative and counseling team set up to support you. We have a 6th grade assistant principal and an 8th grade assistant principal and a 7th grade dean. Here in the counseling center, we have a 6th grade counselor who partners up with Miss Martinez, our 6th grade assistant principal, and her name is Ashley Broody. Ashley.
Hello, I'm Ashley Broody, and I will be your 6th grade school counselor. I also have half of 7th graders here at Lesher, but I will be your go-to person if you need any scheduling help, if you need social emotional help. I'm here for you to talk at any time. And I'm also our web coordinator here, so you will learn a lot about web when you come here at Lesher. It is our mentoring program, and you'll meet a bunch of web leaders who will help you out as you transition. And I'm also our MTSS coordinator as well.
And last but not least, I would like to introduce our 8th grade counselor who has the other half of 7th grade, Miss Abriana Wood.
Hi everyone, thanks for listening to us today. I'm Abriana. I work with all the 8th graders around here, half of our 7th graders, on personal issues, social, emotional things going on, academics, and I also help students with transitioning to high school.
So thank you for joining me now in our counseling center. Here we are all about student support. So whether it's a scheduling issue, transfer issue, social emotional support, mental health issue, testing issue, transitioning to 6th grade from 5th, transitioning to 9th grade from 8th. This is our counseling center where we work through all those different types of issues. As I mentioned in the opening comments, we want you to feel connected and supported here at Lesher. You can go to our website anytime and pull up our directory for everybody in the building's email or phone direct lines to their classrooms or offices. We have about 60 adults in the building here to serve you and help you. So Miss Wood, our 8th grade counselor, handles our 9th grade transitions. Miss Broody handles 6th grade and helps with web, or runs web, our Where Everybody Belongs, which brings our 6th graders in from 5th grade and helps with multi-tiered systems of support with Miss Crossland. We have a whole team of people here to serve you, and I'm really proud of this team here in our counseling center. They're all about making your 3 years at Lesher a special, safe, happy, healthy experiences. Thanks for joining me in our counseling center. You're probably wondering, does the principal always dress in blue and gold and carry a stick? You probably noticed our counseling office staff also had a big staff with them, as well as our assistant principals. Well, today is Thursday. I know you're watching this video probably at your leisure because it's pre-recorded, but we're recording it on Thursday to most people, but at Lesher, it's Thursday. And we always wear our blue and gold on Thursday. So welcome to Thursday, even though you might be watching this at a different time. And we have a lot of school pride. One of the things you'll notice with all of our blue and gold staffs is these are 6 feet. These are 6 feet, which is what we've been working on to help people know what 6 feet looks like in terms of separation. Here at Lesher, in our hallways and our common spaces, we've done everything we can to ensure safety during the time that students were in school for the 5 weeks we were in phase 3 this past fall. As you look around our building, you'll notice our lockers are wide open because we did not assign our lockers this year. We may or may not next year to decrease the potential for kids congregating in large groups. And what we will do is do everything we can to continue to practice the 3 W's. Watch your distance, wear your mask, and wash your hands. We also have stickers along our hallways, floors in our office and classroom floors, encouraging 6 feet of social distance to the extent we can, and keeping folks walking in the right directions to minimize the potential of spreading of any virus. So this is our 6th grade hallway. It actually makes a rectangular path around our VPAC, our Viking Performing Arts Center. This is where your 6th graders will live for 6th grade. They will be on one of 4 6th grade teams, okay, which are named after How to Train a Dragon, and it's very similar to the Harry Potter house idea. I believe we may be the only middle school who has this structure, and we do it to help with the transition from 5th to 6th grade. So if and when you come to Lesher, you will either be on the Gronkel house, the Stormcutter house, the Zippleback house, or the Night Fury house. Each one of those 2-person teams has a humanities teacher who teaches language arts and social studies, and a STEM teacher who teaches science and math. So what that does is it minimizes one of your teachers. In elementary school in 5th grade, chances are you have one 5th grade teacher for the majority of your core classes, math, science, English, and social studies. Maybe you go out for some additional reading support or advanced math or advanced language arts, but by and large you probably have one teacher in 5th grade for most of your core classes, and then you probably go to art on Monday, music on Tuesday, maybe technology, PE on Wednesday, maybe technology on Thursday, and for our IB schools, maybe a little Spanish on Friday, or something like that. When you come to secondary school and middle school, this will be one of the bigger adjustments. We're a larger school. Lesher's going to have 750 to 800 students next year. Coming from most of our elementary schools, that might be double the size. We are going to step up the level of rigor. We're going to step up the level of independence we expect you as students to bring to Lesher, because you're stepping into secondary school and middle school. And you're going to have more teachers. So while you had one core teacher generally in 5th grade, here you're going to have 2. One that does math and science, and one that does language arts and social studies. Whereas at other schools, you might have 4. 1 math, 1 science, 1 social studies, and 1 English teacher. So that's an effort to tighten it up for you. So those 2 teachers on each of those 4 houses really try to get to know you as a student and your family and your parents, and to be helpful as you navigate your first year at Lesher. So that's how we structure our middle school in 6th grade. You would be on one of those teams, and those 2 teachers in that house's classrooms are right next to each other. You would typically have a locker right next to your team. And you would generally stay right here. So we separate our 6th graders from our 7th graders, who are down our long hallway, about halfway, from our 8th graders, who are all the way at the end of our long hallway on the south end of the building. By and large, our 6th graders kind of work with 6th graders, and that's intentional. That is what middle school concept is all about. We have vertical departments, math, science, English, social, where our 6th through 8th grade teachers co-plan, and we have horizontal teams. So we have 6th grade teachers that are multidisciplinary, working together to serve your child in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So that's just a little bit about our house system in 6th grade. We feel it works very well, and we feel it increases contact with kids to capable, caring teachers. It also helps our teachers with a little smaller student load so that they can really focus on kids' needs. So you've met my administrative team in the VPAC. You've met our counseling team in the counseling center. And this is a little bit about our 4 2-person 6th grade teams. So we have 8 core teachers. Next up, we're going to walk down to our applied technologies room, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Encore, which is art, music, physical education, technology, 2 types of technology, computer science and pre-engineering, and our world languages. So next up, Encore, sometimes called specials in elementary, sometimes called electives in high school. It's going to be awesome. See you in the Applied Technologies Lab. Welcome to our Applied Technologies Lab. This is part of our Encore program. Encore at Lesher includes our World Languages Department, which is French, German, or Spanish here at Lesher. All of our kids take a language for all 3 years, French, German, or Spanish. or Spanish literacy for our native Spanish speakers. So we have French, German, Spanish as a world language, and Spanish literacy for our native speakers or our students from Harris Bilingual or Irish Bilingual schools. We also have our design program. That's an IB term for technology. We have applied technologies, which looks like a wood shop historically behind us, but on the other half of our applied technologies lab is our laser engraver, our Lego robotics program and table, our computer-aided design software. We also have an esports program here at Lesher. So this is really pre-engineering. It is a lot bigger and broader, and we have multiple 3D printers throughout our building and in this space. So our Applied Technologies Lab is one half of our design department, which is Applied Technologies, Pre-Engineering, and Computer Science. In computer science, one of the things we emphasize, from basic typing all the way to all the different applications we have, which continue to expand and grow all the time. Our computer science teacher, Becky Knips, is the district middle school computer science lead. She does a ton of cutting edge work on the different platforms and applications that come out every year, and she works closely with our teaching staff, as does our media specialist and building tech coordinator, Jen Flippin, who's our librarian building tech coordinator. They do a ton of support for our teachers too in terms of technology, and that has been really apparent as we've moved to online learning through the pandemic. But our computer science program is equally impressive, as is our applied technologies program. One of the things they emphasize, besides just all the new technology that's evolving all the time and how to help our students use technology as a resource, it's also internet safety. Internet safety and digital identity, and helping students understand how they can best use technology in a good, healthy, happy way is a priority for us here at Lesher and Ms. Knips and Ms. Flippin. Our school resource officer, our partnership with Fort Collins PD, also sometimes come to our classrooms in technology to talk about the internet and social media and things like that that are very real in our world today, with the amount of our students that have cell phones, that have smartphones, and Kindles and laptops that we give every child with our one-to-one laptop initiative. So we try to talk to students about the values of using technology as a resource, as well as the specific, as I mentioned earlier, content and skills and how to use them. That design technology piece combines with our health and physical education program, our world languages program, as I mentioned, French, German, Spanish, and Spanish literacy, and our arts programming, performing and visual. Our performing arts program is band, orchestra, and choir. We have been an award-winning music program here at Lesher. We were one of 3 middle schools invited to the to a festival in Indianapolis last spring, and our art program has also produced award-winning pieces of art. So band, orchestra, choir, and art are signature programs here at Lesher, and whether you're a vocalist or an instrumentalist, you will find your niche at Lesher. We are very proud of our arts program, both performing and visual, and the opportunity to celebrate students' success, celebrate their artwork, and the aesthetic here at Lesher. So Encore at Lesher encompasses all of those different departments, sometimes called specials at the elementary level, sometimes called electives at the high school level. And as you progress through 6th to 7th and 8th grade, we transition you from 5th grade, where it's a lot more math and science and English and social studies, and really a lot of English and math, to a more well-rounded program here to get you ready for high school, where a lot of times it's a lot more electives or an encore than it is core. So that's part of the K-12 experience. So I'm going to let 4 of our 6th graders tell you really quickly who they are, where they went to school, and just a quick comment about their experience this year at 6th grade at Lesher.
Hey guys, my name is Kylie and I'm in 6th grade. I used to go to Olander Elementary. The favorite part about Lesher is that you have so much stuff to do. You have so much activities. You have your friends. That's the best part about Lesher.
Hello, I'm Mickey, and I went to Cottonwood in Arizona. And a comment about Lesher that I wanted to speak up about is I really like this school. It was very welcoming when I first came, and I like how clean the school is and stuff. It's really nice.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie. I went to Cruz Elementary, and my favorite thing about Lesher is that I get to be here with small groups. Hi, my name is Ashley. I went to McGraw Elementary, and my favorite thing about Lesher is that the teachers pay more attention to you than homework and stuff.
Next up, we're going to travel over to our cafeteria and talk a little about the social piece at Lesher. Thank you for joining me in the Lesher cafeteria. The school day at Lesher is 8 o'clock to 2:55, and we serve breakfast here in our cafeteria every morning from 7:30 to 8. So from 7:30 to 8, your child can come here and get breakfast. If you need to drop your child off earlier for school, that's okay. We'll work with you. We do have kids coming to school as early as 7 or sometimes even before that. We want to work with our families to get your kid here and give them a safe place to be. So we do have breakfast here in our cafeteria from 7:30 to 8, and then obviously lunch later in the day. Our school day is 8 a.m. to 2:55. Unlike elementary school, one of the differences is we don't have Alpha Best after school care or base camp as it was called before that. Our school day ends at 2:55 and our buses depart at about 3. But we want your child to have a place to be. Our media center is open every day after school for an hour every day except Wednesdays when we have staff meetings. So we can talk more about that when you're here next year, but wanted to let you know that 8 to 2:55 is our school day. We have breakfast from 7:30 to 8, and we have about a 35-minute lunch period. During that lunch period, our kids have fun and socialize here in our cafeteria, or they can eat out on our patio. Behind me is our patio basketball courts. We have a learning garden, we have an outdoor classroom, and we have our frozen tundra of the Lesher Athletic Field. So one of the things, as I mentioned, we don't have Alpha Best or Base Camp after school care, but we do have a lot of sports and clubs. At the 6th grade level, students are allowed to do cross country in the fall, track and field in the spring, and golf. We have more offerings from 7th and 8th grade. Here at Lesher, we would love to have more offerings, but it's a system cost issue for how many sports we can offer 6th grade. All of our middle school sports, unfortunately, were canceled up to this point in the school year. We're hoping to bring some of them back this spring semester and hoping to have all of them back next fall. But our athletic program is another point of pride for us, as I mentioned, like our core and our encore and the other things we do here at Lesher. So athletics in 6th grade, it's cross country in the fall, golf and track and field in the spring, and in 7th and 8th grade it expands. We also have a ton of clubs that meet after school. So in place of after school care, your child might be involved in our chess club, which happens on Tuesdays after school, our Science Olympiad program, where we have tons of kids doing that. We have a Lego robotics program. We have our Where Everybody Belongs program. We have National Junior Honor Society meetings. We have Math Counts meetings, which is a math competition. We have had a variety of different offerings for clubs and activities after school to engage kids on different days after school where we try to plug kids in. We have chamber music groups, jazz band, chamber orchestra. We have had student-initiated clubs. We've had a paranormal club when kids wanted to get geeked out and have fun talks about ghosts. We've had a speech and debate club. If your student wants to create a new club and a new activity, we have a form to fill out. We find a space, we find a supervising teacher, and we want to support those interests and let kids really explore their interests. That is another IB component, is inquiry, and helping kids really learn who they are and how they learn best and explore their different interests. So again, this is our cafeteria. Here's the frozen tundra of the Lesher Viking Athletic Field in our patio. Kids can throw frisbees at recess, at lunch. They can play basketball. We have a sand volleyball court. This is a lot of the social space around Lesher. We accept and embrace all of our students, cultures, religions, races, you name it. We pride ourselves on being a very inclusive school. We have kids coming here from our neighborhood feeders where almost every 5th grader comes from one school. We also have students where they're the only child from their school to come here and they know no one. But I've experienced this and watched this over the years, that those kids all find their peer group, they all find friends, usually within the first 2-3 weeks of school. And we try to help support that and make those personal connections. So this is our cafeteria and our physical space. This is where kids really get to be themselves a little bit, as well as during passing periods, and in our classrooms where our teachers try to come up with activities that really engage kids socially and getting them to talk to each other and share their ideas. We're going to close in our media center. Join me in our media center. Thank you for joining me on the last part of our journey in this virtual pre-recorded trip. This is our media center / library. We just talked a little about activities and clubs and athletics. I will mention here that we also have a KLIB News show, and we broadcast that regularly, and students work really hard and create some great segments for it. So that's another thing kids can do here, and that's actually based in our green room right behind the camera. We work really hard here at Lesher in our Library and Media Center to have high-interest books, whether it's humor, mystery, you name it, and get kids reading. Our media specialist, Jen Flippin, who's also our building tech coordinator, does a fantastic job looking at what kids are reading today and making sure we have those volumes available to check out and keep kids reading. She also supports students with laptop needs and supports our teachers with instructional pedagogy around the digital interface with kids and our laptops. I'm going to close by sharing a little bit about IB. I haven't talked too much about IB on this journey, and I know every year I get questions from families coming from schools that are not IB elementary schools. Is that going to be a concern or a problem? It's not. You're going to be fine. As I mentioned, we have kids coming from about 30 different elementary schools. IB schools, non-IB schools, private schools, Christian schools, public schools, you name it, home schools, out of state, and when they come here, we turn them into blue and gold Lesher Vikings. And what IB really is about, it's about inquiry-based learning. It's about project-based learning. It's about concept-based learning. It's a bigger, broader picture. When a lot of schools talk about content and skills, we talk about content, skills, and concepts. So somebody might describe a traditional middle school classroom as two-dimensional. I'm going to teach you content, the Civil War. I'm going to teach you a skill looking at a document-based question like the Emancipation Proclamation as it relates to the Civil War. Content, skill. We talk about content, skills, and then we talk about concepts. What's the bigger, broader concept around the Civil War? Is it freedom? And how can we connect that to language arts and social studies? And so we try to encourage more interdisciplinary thought. So IB really is about a broad-based, well-rounded, whole-child, liberal arts education. It's really what it's about. And we embrace all of our students when they come to Lesher. Our culture, our climate is about inclusivity. We want to love on all of our kids. And I want you, as I started with this, with my big pointy finger, we want you to come to Lesher and anchor down and be happy. I love our staff, I love our school, and I love our students and our family. If Lesher feels like the best place for you, and I hope it is, we look forward to seeing you in August. And I'll close with some things that will happen now. We look forward to seeing you in August, and hopefully we're doing all the things that we do and continuing to grow towards having a great middle school experience for your child. Because while your child may come from a variety of different schools, my hope is that when they get to Lesher, the 3 years they spend at Lesher are 3 of their best years from kindergarten to 12th grade. I say this every year to our 6th graders. K-12, 13 years, I want year 3 at Lesher to be awesome. I want you to learn a lot. I want you to feel safe and cared about. I want you to make a lot of friends. I want you to be able to explore your interests academically, athletically, artistically, socially. I want you to feel connected. And as you as parents, I want you to feel that you have access to us. This is your school. We're here to serve you and create an awesome culture. That's what I would love to see happen. So we are about being the downtown diverse middle school that's IB, and we embrace everybody. And I'm just really excited about where we're going as a building and as a district as we work through this pandemic. It's been tough, but we've had a lot of resiliency. I appreciate our current families giving us grace in both ways and working through it, something we've never had to deal with before. But from it, we're going to come out stronger. We're going to come out stronger on the other end, and we're going to work through this. So what happens now? We have our school choice deadline on Friday the 15th, I believe at noon. So once that happens, if you're a neighborhood kid, you're good to go at Lesher. If you're school choice, we will go through our process after Friday the 15th. And so what happens next is after Friday the 15th and the choice deadline ends, we start calling students. We identify the amount of space we have in 6th grade. We take all of our neighborhood kids, priority 1, and then we start going through the priorities through the district online smart choice system, and we start making calls. Then our counselor, 6th grade counselor, Miss Broody, who you met, and our 6th grade assistant principal, Ms. Martinez, who you met, they typically would go out to our elementary schools and register kids. So you'll have to think about, do I want to take French, German, or Spanish? Do I want to take band, orchestra, or choir, or art? But because of COVID, we may have to do that all online. We'll let you know as we figure that out. Then typically, usually the first Friday of May, we bring all of our new 6th graders in and they go through our Web Where Everybody Belongs program, which is a big social orientation for a few hours. And our 8th graders, we have about 40, 50 8th grade web leaders, they work with small groups of 6th graders to kind of train them up, 8th graders talking to 6th graders as like school ambassadors and saying, here's how it works here, and here's how we do it. Then, fast forward even further into August, we start school 6th grade only. We have 6th grade for one day, 7th and 8th graders don't come till the next day. So there's another transition opportunity for us to help your 6th grader make that adjustment and figuring out our bigger school. As I mentioned, Lesher is going to be somewhere between 700 and probably 25 to 800 students next year. That's bigger than any of the elementaries you come from. We make everybody come together. We work really hard at creating a culture of inclusivity and acceptance here and success. So those are things that will start happening. And watch our website, watch our Twitter posts, and we'll try to keep you updated. We'll send stuff out to our elementary schools, and we're looking forward to having a great year next year and wrapping up this year. I hope you all have a great end of 5th grade. Stay strong, be resilient, and we're looking forward to meeting you all hopefully later this spring or definitely in August. Thank you for your interest in Lesher. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to talk to you, and I look forward to talking to you more as things progress towards next August. Be safe, stay healthy, stay positive, test negative. We got this. Thanks so much for listening to us tonight in our pre-recorded virtual open house and curriculum fair. There will also be a 6th grade video and an Encore video to hear more about those particular programs.